like standing in the kitchen getting food or something, and like I'm going through like a closing argument as a lawyer. Like I'm talking to myself because no one was home. When no one's home, I tend to talk a lot, and I'm like going off. I'm like going off, and I'm selling the shit out of it. I'm enunciating like crazy, and I like realize like we have a camera in this house. And like, if for any reason anyone ever needed to like look at the cameras on a day where my family's gone,
I want to see this,
and I'm home alone, all anyone's gonna see is me trying to mimic opera songs, which I did, and then giving closing arguments to things that no one else has any context to. It's just me like blurting out very intense facts.
Welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tom.
Man, I felt like I yelled really loud, so sorry for anybody's ears.
Yeah.
That heard that.
If you thought we weren't really here when that music plays, we are. We're in the background.
Yeah, I'm sure some of you probably hear me.
You loud motherfuckers over there.
I wonder, so just jumping right in.
Do it.
I wonder if people hear you talk about them. Like, how I'm whispering during the intro? And It's just like, I wonder if when you're, like we were at a Mariner game, me and my wife went to a Mariner game yesterday.
Yeah.
And there's some girl behind us, and she was being kind of, I think she was on a date. I couldn't tell, but she was trying really hard, and she was talking in emojis. Like,
emojis?
Sad face.
Oh,
they missed it.
They call it emoji.
Emoji.
Like emoji.
Emoji. I'm saying it wrong. Emoji.
Okay.
Emoji.
I gotcha. Emoji.
I know.
Right?
I just say it's different. I'm emojis.
They're like the letters, like M-O-G.
M-O-G.
Okay, I got you.
Gangsta.
I got you. She's like, oh, sad face.
Yeah, she literally said that out loud.
Heart.
Yeah. It was funny, but like, I'm laughing at some of the stuff that's happening. She had a very distinct laugh. It was one of those ones that it's hard not to laugh.
Yeah, sure.
When you hear it.
Yeah.
But it was an annoying one, but it was anyway. I'm laughing, but I'm just saying stuff, but I'm wondering, I wonder if they hear me. But I wasn't saying nothing bad about her. I was just like, it was just a funny situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then some lady next to my wife, Alicia, she was like, you don't know. My wife, Alicia, you guys met.
Who?
But the lady was clapping so like loud.
Yeah.
It was like hitting for me, it was even loud. And I think I got bad hearing sometimes.
What I enjoyed is when I ran into you at Walmart earlier today, and Alicia made you demonstrate the clap in the middle of Walmart, and how bad you did not want to do that.
I did not want to do that.
That was clear. She's like, motherfucker, you're going to do the clap. And all of a sudden you're like,
she's like, I'm like, no.
Do your loud clap.
And the funny thing is, I still didn't do it loud.
Yeah, you did good, though. You did good.
I was like, yeah, just, she just clapped. Tom needs to hear.
Well, what I enjoyed is when I came up behind you and did the voice. I was like, excuse me, sir. And the guy next to you turned around, like made total direct eye contact. And I just kept looking at you. It was very awkward for a moment.
Well, he comes up behind me at Walmart, and I'm like, says something, and I didn't know it was him. Yeah. And I'm just like, all right, whatever, some guys. And then I hear it again, but then I hear the voice, and I'm like, that's a funny voice, that like turn. And it was this guy. It was this guy over here.
Good time. We talked about 30 minutes.
Was it? Yeah. Huh.
I don't know. It was a while.
In the middle
Walmart.
of Walmart.
Okay. Best conversations at Walmart.
So we're in Walmart. Yeah. And I don't know if Tom saw it, but there was this lady standing. So me and my wife are in front of this.
The pissed off gal? Yeah.
She looked angry, right?
She was.
And she's standing in front of, like, we're kind of standing in the middle, but in the frozen, there's like the
dairy
milk
section. Think dairy section.
Yeah. We're in the milk's right in front of us. We're kind of out of the way of that so people can get their milks and shit.
Yeah.
We had enough room.
We're respectfully off to the side.
Yeah. We're kind of just like in the middle, just it's open for everyone. But me and my wife were in front of a display of Hostess cupcakes.
Right. I mean,
it was pretty bare, actually, because I was messing with the 3 that were on top. They were cherry pies. And the lady I looked over and I'm like, do you need I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, do you need anything? Like, I'm sorry. I wasn't even But she never said anything.
She's just like, no. And we're like, okay. I don't know if she's mad at the gal that was next to us or like,
no, I don't need nothing now.
Our enjoyment of conversing was just pissing her off. She's like, how dare you?
Fuckers.
How dare you?
Yeah, because Alicia and Blanca were talking, and me and you were kind of side conversation.
Right. Because I started to pull my cart because I thought she was like staring us down, like, because we were in the way of the yogurts. So I'm like, I'm not fucking with this. So I start pulling back.
Yeah, the Oinkies yogurt.
And then, I was looking for my Oinkies, and it was, I don't know. She definitely was pissed at something, right? But I couldn't tell if it was the gal like kind of behind next to us or if it was in fact us. It was weird though because we tried to get out of her way. She's like, no.
She also might have had just an RBF.
Yeah,
she must have had that rest in B face.
Yeah.
That's I got a part of that too.
Probably true. She just like to stand there.
She just like that, all pissed off. Like,
did you see when the gal like came up to her and asked her to move so she could get the milk? That was kind of funny.
I seen it, but I didn't like. As soon as I see, she was like, "No." I was like, I seen that girl come up, and then I was just like,
instantly, it was like,
karma, bitch. Fuck. That's why she was angry. God damn it, I'm out of here.
I know. She's like, people are always mean to me every time I come to the store.
Yeah. No, but me and the wife, we went to the Mariners yesterday. And go watch that, and we haven't had our luck. Mm-hmm. I think each time we've gone, I think they've lost. I can't recall if the first time me and her went, they won or not.
So that's lucky, you think?
I don't know. As a sports fan, you start to think, well, when I'm not there, they win. Like,
okay.
For football, I'm more superstitious.
So like, as long as you don't go, they're gonna win.
Yeah.
I see. I see. Okay.
Like sports for football, for me, I get very. There's certain times like I'll be if it's a playoff game and the Niners are playing, I'm like, I can't watch it with someone.
I got you.
Anytime I've ever watched, then sorry, Eddie, anytime I've watched the Niners game with Eddie, and it's fun because he's a Niner fan and it's awesome. We lose.
Yeah.
And then I stopped watching it one time and we won, and then again we won, and I was like, no, I'm not. Sorry, I can't watch it.
Yeah, I got you.
And now our team's fucking doing great. No,
but
like it does anything.
The Mariners won yesterday, though.
The Mariners did win. The game. Yeah. The game was awesome. Like we parked a little bit away. It was probably about half a mile.
7 miles.
I felt like it literally did actually, because it's like it was straight.
Yeah.
And so we parked about
towards like downtown or like
downtown,
the opposite direction.
Like going downtown.
Okay.
Like you're in downtown.
It's better to go that way.
Yeah. That's where we were.
Yeah. Okay.
When I went with Nick, and then we were the opposite way. Mm-hmm. But we were like a mile or so away.
That can get pretty shady.
Yeah, there was a couple of back alleys that looked a little iffy.
Yeah, we stayed in a place called La Hacienda when I was
that's like a chain.
Age. Oh, not this one. No, this is La Hacienda.
It was literally someone's
motel.
house.
This motel was like if you whacked somebody and had to go on lam for like a month.
That's where you're staying.
You would stay there, and next door would be fentanyl prostitutes. Like it was not a nice place.
I used to live in a hotel in Seattle,
and was
it
La Hacienda?
It might have been. There was one called Nights Inn and the one called Sills Motel. They were kind of across the street from each other. But you just described what they felt like.
I mean, like broken bottles in the parking lot, like bad.
There was literally because it's on Aurora Avenue. Mm-hmm. There were prostitutes going up and down.
Well, sure.
And I was so disappointed because that's like the first time I ever seen a prostitute.
Yeah.
And what was disappointing was they were in like sweats and shit. And so in my mind, prostitutes are supposed to be in like high heel, look like in the movies. Right. That's how I've always pictured
Pretty
them.
Woman. I mean, that's what I'm. Julia Roberts,
fake hair,
big hair, nice purses.
Yeah, no, this girl was in like sweats.
Well, see, that's what I see on
looked iffy, but you knew she was.
You know, like it's like, whoa. Clean yourself up, man. Like I'm paying for this, right?
I'm paying you good money.
I've never paid. Okay.
But
wow.
But so it was pretty iffy though for when you were there?
It was gross. So like we went to a nighttime game and we were riding the city bus back. Like my parents were absurdly cheap apparently. So we're riding the bus back to La Hacienda, which is like 2 miles into like industrial Seattle.
Yeah.
And there's this motel in the middle of it. And
that is a dicey spot. I used to work down there.
It was not the cleanest. I'll say that.
Oh no, I used to work at Arby's down there.
This guy got up so that my mom could have the seat by the window. Super gentleman. So my dad, being also a gentleman, let her take that seat and sat somewhere else. And then my brother and I were somewhere else. Like we're all over the bus. And the guy was like hitting on my mom the entire time. Not a very nice gentleman, I would imagine, when he's not on the bus. And then this guy points at his wrist to my brother because my brother had a watch on, and my brother almost shit his pants. It was pretty great. He was like ready to take his watch off and give it to the guy. The guy's like, time. It was fantastic. It was great.
Was that also your guys' first bus ride?
I mean, it was like probably our first and only Seattle bus ride. Yeah, like as an adult, I've been on the Seattle bus. Just like whatever, but
typical.
Yeah, like back then, man, we were like Tri-Cities, Washington, white family, no exposure to anything in the world. I was laughing at my brother with this actually because like thinking about our Saturday night when I was a kid, like early '90s, we used to make popcorn, like popcorn, and our Saturday night ritual was we'd watch Cops, followed by America's Most Wanted.
It's fucking great shows.
Our Saturday night, we were
America's Most Wanted always kind of scared me the most.
Oh yeah, it was terrifying.
Like it's either the way he spoke, or it was the stories because they were true. Cops, you know, it's happening, right? You know,
yeah,
whatever.
Right.
It was like it was actually your first like real reality TV show.
Kind of, yeah, right.
But yeah, America's Most Wanted always. I'm like, bro, they can't find the guy.
John Walsh always in a leather coat.
Oh yeah.
Tonight we have a real dirtbag on the run, and we need your help to catch him.
He almost looked like he was going to be a flasher.
Yeah,
with that coat, with the trench coat.
Yeah, right. He's like a mafia hitman who also flashes. It was pretty great. And yeah, the reenactments were always amazing. I love the reenactments.
That show's so good.
I think I heard that Edie Falco, who was Carmela Soprano in The Sopranos, Tony's wife, I think, I may be wrong, but I think that she had a gig on that show. I think.
Yeah.
So, I think she did.
One of my like bucket list things
is to be on America's Most Wanted.
Is to be on a Lifetime show.
Yeah.
Or even like something like that where you just play this, like on those, was it like my crazy neighbor? What Love Thy Neighbor.
Yes.
Any of those kind of shows, I would love to be on there.
A reenactment. Yeah. Of course.
Something that or in a commercial.
Dude, absolutely. I feel like we could probably make the commercial happen now, given the commercials that we've discussed locally.
We have to. I could be just as bad.
Dude,
I mean, amazing.
I think, yeah, some of those shows would be so great. I want to be the bad guy in an SVU episode. Just give everything away in front of the lawyer. And my lawyer just, go ahead. That show is so fucking stupid.
I'll be the lawyer.
Every time they're like, you did it, didn't you? And the guy's like, yeah, she was really pretty, and I didn't want to stop myself. And the lawyer's just like, hey, he's going. I can't. There's nothing I can do.
Worst client
so
ever.
Stupid. And the lawyer didn't even try. He's just like, dump that. Backs up. And they're like, we got the son of a bitch.
I couldn't be a lawyer.
I think like being a real lawyer would be fine, but like
I could be a real lawyer. Or
all I would have is like, are we done here? He has rights. Are we done? I think we're done. You don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer that. And they'd be like, sir, he does have to answer it.
Could you imagine if you had to rep someone you knew was guilty, but you have to prove somehow that to get them off?
Yeah, that'd be hard.
You know what I mean? That'd be the I couldn't be a lawyer just because of that reason. Yeah,
we just watched.
I'd be like, oh, you know what? No, I can't do this.
We just watched The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Great legal movie.
I started watching it.
Absolutely.
In the beginning,
best
it's like
law movie I've ever seen in my life.
It's a law thing going on in the first.
Oh, yeah, big time. Like the whole thing is a court case because, the spoiler alert, the priest is accused of letting her die, right?
Yeah.
And he's arguing like, no, she was
I had to exercise the demons.
And, the only way was to exercise that demon out of her. And but yeah, that was an intense movie. I don't remember where I was going with that, but intense movie. It was a great movie.
It was.
Yeah.
I get those little brain fart moments. Like I've done that on this show.
Going to be a joke, and then whatever I was talking about totally went away.
Being lawyers,
yeah. Oh, she was a hell of a lawyer in that.
No, because you were talking about we were talking about lawyers in this.
She does this closing argument. She's like, facts cannot be argued.
Why are they all
facts? And she's like, was she sick? I don't know. That's not a fact.
Oh my!
Amazing. I loved it. No, she's like, well, she's great. It's Laura Linney, I think her name is.
She's a good actress.
She's a good actress, but I'm like, dude, you're nailing it. You
Yeah.
gotta really get facts if like you really push that F out.
Yeah,
man, like you're gonna sell it.
If you like lawyer stuff, I really recommend
do.
the show Suits.
Okay, I've heard of the show.
It's very good. Like, you know, they're lawyers, and one of the guys becomes a apprentice, like a lawyer apprentice, but he's really like, I think he has a photographic memory.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
So he's passing the bar exam for people.
Okay,
you know, trying to like just so they be lawyers, and I think he was just working some bum job, but he was getting paid to do that.
Gotcha.
And then, you know,
high moral character. I gotcha.
Yeah, and then he runs into some issues, and you know,
needs an attorney.
Yeah, he meets an appointment. The attorney is really good at how he, you know, being an attorney.
Yeah,
the actor is awesome.
His attorney is great. Yeah,
and the actor is really good. But yeah, he just fucking. They work really well together, and it's a really good lawyer show though.
Nice.
But his photographic memory thing is just awesome because he can like, well, actually,
I barely have a memory to begin with. So people with photographic memories, it's like very not fair.
Well, they have some of my memory, probably. That's why.
Yeah.
With their goddamn photographic memory, that's crazy.
Right. I mean, they're like, no, actually, I recall it being like this. So this is how crazy I can be sometimes, and it's really embarrassing to admit this. But like we were talking the other day about talking in the car.
Yeah.
You know?
Just coming up with stupid conversations in the car. Yeah. I do that. I did that today.
So I was watching Signs of a Psychopath, which is a fun show on Discovery Plus.
Uh-huh.
And we got to like an episode.
Oh my God.
Where this kid was like, kids will be kids. And he like murdered this girl. He's like, kids are kids, man. Like
that just happens.
It's what we did. Young bucks out there on the street. Like stuff happens, bro. And like, I was
like, you just got hit in the head with a ball.
So I'm like standing in the kitchen getting food or something, and like I'm going through like a closing argument as a lawyer. Like I'm talking to myself because no one was home. When no one's home, I tend to talk a lot, and I'm like going off. I'm I'm selling the shit out of it.
I'm
enunciating I'm enunciating like crazy. And I like realize like we have a camera in this house. And like if for any reason anyone ever needed to like look at the cameras on a day where my family's gone,
I want to see this.
And I'm home alone, all anyone's gonna see is me trying to mimic opera songs, which I did, and then giving closing arguments to things that no one else has any context to. It's just me like blurting out very intense facts.
The opera stuff. Are you doing that?
Okay.
It's like that's a lead into the lawyer?
No, totally separate. But okay. I think I could tie them in.
You know
I could probably tie them in. No, it's so
dramatic music.
Funny because like another show that we were watching that for the opera part, there's another show that we were watching, Ugliest House in America.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, one. Good show. Really enjoying it. And every once in a while they go to a house that has like a very like religious, like kind of like hideous, like what is this? Why is this here? Kind of thing. And they'll play this like
big Bible.
Very like you know like but like affixed to the wall or something.
Yeah.
Like
I know what you're talking about.
Bible tiles or something.
Just
you're like, what the heck?
Just disgusting.
So the song I've heard like a billion times. It's one of those things where you're like, I know that, but I don't know what it is. Like I have no idea. So then it kind of like ingrained itself into my head.
Oh God.
And I'm like, I need to know what the song is. And it turned out this super easy, like of course I should have known that. It was freaking Mozart.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was Mozart. Yeah. But then I learned like some of the history of the song. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Apparently he died. It was like the last song. And he didn't even like finish it. Some guy took it and finished it.
So it's Mozart and
like side note
Nelson.
Yeah, John Nelson did some of the work. But yeah.
How sick of a name is Mozart though?
Mozart though? Like don't even need more names, just Mozart.
Name.
What's so weird is like Johann Sebastian Bach.
Sick name.
Right? Ludwig van Beethoven.
Good name. I think of the dog when I hear Beethoven
like
though.
Mozart. Like what's the rest of Mozart's name? Does anybody know?
Oh yeah, it's Mozart von Helsing.
Mozart von Helsing. He also killed
vampires.
That was, but like, what was going on in Germany back then?
Nah, they had some dope names though.
Just like, dude, and like Beethoven was deaf, so he just like pound the keys as hard as he could, so he could hear. That's like one of the most fascinating things to me about that music. Is like,
was he deaf?
Beethoven
That's
did
amazing.
the deep sounds. He had like deeper sounds, and Mozart did a lot of like high. Shit.
He probably had super good hearing.
Because he had really good hearing. And then he would get with Beethoven and be like, you can't hear.
He's like,
what a loser. You can't hear.
Do you think they ever beefed?
They probably did. I don't even know if they were alive.
Like,
to be honest with you, but like,
but do you think
I think in my mind, what I like to think is they would get drunk and like brawl it out on the street.
No, I think they would fucking have a diss track.
I think they would.
A Mozart.
But like, no words, just like, be like, bum, 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 and then Mozart's like, oh yeah,
they're freestyling,
you know, and then
freestyling.
Bach tries to get in. He's like, bitch, I'm not even gonna put up with you. Like, who the fuck are you?
And he's all,
I love
you know how they do get all disrespectful in battles.
The equivalent of a yo mama joke would be great. And, yeah, so that's what I do when I'm home alone is just sing opera shit. And
yeah, I'm glad I don't have that.
Oh, yeah, cameras in the house. My mom.
You'd see a lot of me flipping my dog off.
That. Yeah.
You know, I'm like, hey, Rex. Then I go,
yeah.
I'll flip him off. I go, I love you.
My dog, we have a bulldog right now.
That's such a cute dog.
Every time I grab my guitar, he flips out. I'm like, buddy, we're gonna have to get over this. Like,
he doesn't like it.
He does not. It scares him. He's like,
He probably got. What if that's
maybe that's why his legs are. He's got two hind legs that don't work very well. Although he's like been really standing up on those legs.
I wonder if he's gonna build muscle for him.
I'm hoping, but then his little hip will give out and he falls.
I wonder if he needs just brace to kind of like start twisting.
What
the
if he's
bone?
like Forrest Gump?
He just needs braces.
And I need to hire some local kids to come by and start like picking on him and chasing him, and then the braces will fall off and he can run like the wind.
You know, I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And then they were bringing up Janny. Or is it Jenny?
Jenny. Yeah, Jenny.
And how she had AIDS. Right?
Yeah, she did die of AIDS, didn't she?
Did she give him, and they asked, did she give him AIDS? And I was wondering about that.
Didn't she get AIDS after?
That's what I don't remember.
I think
was it
she
after?
Was like,
because that was his
she ended
kid.
up a junkie, right?
Yeah, she was man, Jenny was cold-blooded kind of
after him because they got together, and then I think she went on and got like, but
during that,
and Kathy Bates, where she was a dirty birdie.
Dirty birdie. I love Kathy Bates, dirty birdie.
I'm pretty sure it was after, but man, that would have been quite the plot twist.
Do you think she used him?
And then Tom Hanks also played the guy that got AIDS in that other movie,
Philadelphia.
What if it's all connected?
It's all connected universe.
Dude, and then he survived it and became a captain of a ship, bro.
Yeah,
Captain Phil.
And then he didn't like that, so he flew planes and he landed
and crashed on.
Wait, no, that's a true story.
Yeah, but he was Sully too.
Yeah, Sully. That's what I mean.
Sully Soulburger or whatever. Yeah,
that's kind of badass to fucking land a plane,
dude. And did you hear him? Did you hear him come through? He's like, we're going down the river.
I know.
They're just like, they're like, what's going on? And he's like, we're lost of engine control. They're like, do you think you can make it back to an airport? Negative. We're going into Hudson. Right.
Do you think you should spend?
I would. I'd be like, everybody, this never works, so prepare to die. Like,
I don't know what to do.
There's bridges in this river.
I want to say he probably visualized landing on that Hudson River a million times.
He's like, someday, bitch, I'm landing in you.
What if, like, he thought of those scenarios? Well, what if the plane goes down and I have to land in Hudson? How would I do it?
A few weeks ago.
Yeah.
What if I'm taking off and all of a sudden I just have to land in the river? Well, I mean, where else are you going to land? Where else are you going to land?
I thought about
New York City. Terrorists tried that. Didn't work very well.
Negative. I'm landing.
Nope, I'm crashing into the Empire
Just thinking about it. Oh, man. Yeah. Anyway, the Merit game was awesome.
No, yeah, Merit's game. Yeah. They won, right?
They did, dude. They were crushing. It was crazy. So I found these seats and they were like pretty cheap, but they were like they were row one. We were in like the third upper deck, but we were row one seat 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
So we're right on the ledge. It was a really nice view of you're looking from, behind home plate in a way.
Oh,
so you see everything.
Dang.
It was cool.
That's nice.
But yeah, they were just crushing everything. And then Alicia was filming. There was bases loaded. Guy comes up, and all of a sudden, he knocks it out of the park.
Nice.
Fucking fans are going wild. He hit another one later on in the game. They hit it like 7 home runs.
I bet the energy was nuts.
It was crazy.
That's
it was
cool.
15 to 2.
Dang.
Yeah.
Who were we playing?
The Royals.
Okay.
They're in last place. So it's not like.
Yeah, but still,
the way they were hitting.
But our
was
ranking
awesome.
is because I know that
we're in first place now.
Okay, because a couple weeks ago we were in a position because I can't watch it because I don't have it on anything and I don't pay for it.
You need
But
you need
I know.
Cox.
Well, that's the thing. Like
Or whatever,
you got to
or something. You need cock.
You need a dick, and then you can watch it. So I have no idea, but yeah, my cousin's husband was following. And he's like, if he's like, it's very unlikely, but if things work out, we can still make it.
Yeah.
So are we kind of in it now?
Yeah. So the game we went to, we ended up getting in first place after that game.
Really?
After we won, we took first place, and then I think we won today, and so we are solely in first place.
That's crazy.
So it was cool. It was really cool.
Hopefully they hold on to that.
So we, me and Lisa were like, damn, that's awesome. We
finally
came to a game when we won.
Yeah, because you were saying you don't have any luck.
Yeah, we're 0-2 and maybe. But yeah. So
Dang.
Circling back around, my luck's changing.
Look at that. Yeah, it's like the curse.
It
the
is.
Old curse.
It's actually, just seeing the positive, like my son.
Yeah, tell that
I'm going to transition to this. So today we went to swing by the mall after we were at Costco. JJ's need to go to the bathroom, and JCPenney's has a bathroom downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care for that bathroom too much. Anyway, I go down there, door's wide open, of course. So I make sure it shuts because I don't want someone looking at me while I'm pissing.
Right.
But it stinks. It's a bathroom. And the bathroom is not that clean. I've been in some bathrooms that are, you're like, damn, this is nice.
Sure.
This is a nice bathroom.
But JCPenney's is not one of them.
No.
I don't know if I've ever been into there.
It's just, I feel dirty when I'm in there. I don't like it.
Yeah.
They don't have a divider. When you
JCPenney's, you need to up your
I hate game. Urinals where there's no divider.
I hate any kind of bathroom where there's no divider. It's gross.
So I was at the Mariner game. All the toilets.
Oh, it's trough urinal.
No,
right?
that one it was all little urinals.
Or was that just the old Kingdom?
The Kingdom was trough.
That. Yeah, it was total trough.
Just willies all out.
Just everywhere. Just like a circle. The circle trough. That was the hand washing station, I think. But yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Yeah, you pissed and washed your hands all in one. It was pretty cool.
No, but that's
the taller guys would piss on the smaller guys' hands.
I don't like to pee like with people next to me. What they I don't like. My peripheral's good. I've seen a couple little willies off to the side, and I
have great peripheral. I can't help it.
All of a sudden you see someone. You're like, Jesus,
damn,
bro. But anyway, I hate. I get stage fright. I don't like to pee out there. I don't like pissing in public.
Come on,
that.
Guy, you can do it.
No, seriously, I'm guys left me and I peed. Anyway,
yeah.
Going back, so we're at JCPenney's. Okay. I take JJ to JCPenney's.
Yeah,
he needs to go to the bathroom. We get in there, it stinks, and it's just dirty. It's not very clean looking. And do our business. And he goes to wash his hands, and he's like, this is a really nice sink. Oh, I really like this sink. And I'm thinking the whole time, this bathroom is nasty. This is disgusting, blah, blah, blah. And it just made me realize, this kid, it's cool how kids can see, the positive in things. Like me, I go in thinking negatively, probably because of life or whatever.
They put extra stick on the floor so we don't fall, Dad.
Anti-slip.
I'm going to start looking at everything as positive as possible.
But he found something in such a nasty area. He found something that was nice. And the sink was nice. After I looked at it, I'm like, okay.
This is a hell of a nice sink.
This is a nice plastic ass looking sink.
Yeah. I've seen sinks like that.
But it just made me think about how.
Yeah, you remember in COVID when there was
you got that positive out of it.
Yeah, you remember when there was that city where there was some kind of a flower that grew out of a sidewalk, like a corn husk or something.
Oh wow!
And they just left it, nobody took it down. They left it there. It was a beautiful thing of look at what
how amazing
grew,
life
and
is.
because people weren't out. So
yeah,
they're just let it grow, and like it was a thing. Like it was like nobody's gonna mess with this. I'm sure as soon as everything opened up, some asshole like ripped it right out.
Like, oh, this is
but I'm
nice.
just saying, for a minute there, it was like a big news story. I'm
That's
talking
beautiful.
with my damn hands again. So I was watching.
I talk with my hands all the
I
time.
was watching some clips, and it drove me nuts. I'm like, stop moving your fucking hands, bro. They look gigantic because I keep putting them out really far.
Well, you're also like 6.
Good Lord. But I'm just like constantly like,
I'm a hand talker.
I know those of you that
I'm a
listen
fidgeter.
can't see them, but even now I'm like tap dancing with my fingers.
He's Beethoven.
And yeah.
That's how he's doing.
Oh man, I can't help it.
But seeing something beautiful like that, I would hope no one messed with it. I'm sure, like you said, like, someone did, but to see that beautifulness in the chaos that is the world,
right?
You know?
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, it's like such like horrible stuff.
Yeah, the world. Like I was up at 2 a.m. a couple nights ago thinking about that shit because I was thinking like this world's fucked up. Like my kids are in here and like you know what, you know, the world's scary. Like, and I'm afraid for them, but then I also think about, you know, how amazing the world is, how much there's out there that's beautiful.
Yeah,
and,
right.
You know, not everything is like so
doom and gloom, right? How much of it is just us choosing the doom and gloom?
Oh, I think it's a lot
really
because
is the doom and gloom.
It just made me think like my son. I'm going to a bathroom and it's nasty. My son, being a kid, you know, they have this different mindset when you're a kid. You know, you see the world in a different lens, and he saw this just something positive out there. He didn't complain that it stunk. He didn't, ew, this is gross or nothing like that. He was just like, oh shit, I pissed. It felt good. And I got to wash my hands in a nice ass sink. Dude, this is one of the nicest sinks, he thought.
Look
one of the coolest
sink.
Yeah. Wow. And the color of the sink wasn't that nice to me. I don't know what color it was.
Sure.
I want to say it was like a brown. It's probably green or something. But anyway.
If it's like Walmart, they're brown.
Yeah, I think it was brown and black.
So remember, folks, if we get in a nuclear war with Russia, like, hey, look at the bright side.
Look at the bright side.
It could be
Russia's
worse.
done.
Russia's gone. Oh,
hopefully not.
Speaking of that story,
is that happening or what? I haven't been following the news.
No.
Oh, I'm like, wait a minute.
Nobody wants that.
But get back to your doom and gloom, though.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
That guy that tried to go against Putin a while ago.
Yeah.
You remember that guy, the Wagner Group guy?
The Ukraine president guy?
No.
Oh.
There was a guy that marched into Russia with his troops because Putin tried to tell him that his army was going to join their army or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
And he was like, bullshit. And he goes in and he stops outside of Moscow. And Putin made a deal with him, like, go to Belarus. I won't kill you. Things will be good.
Yeah.
And so he agreed. His plane got shot down last week and he died. And Putin was like, he was a great guy, but makes some mistakes. I'm like, God,
Putin shot that fool down, huh?
What a dick.
Damn, he's like, a real villain.
He is. He's like a Bond villain. He's just like, maybe he shouldn't say things like that.
That's like mobster style, dude.
He is. I mean, it's like he shot a wing off the plane. The plane like spiraled down. The guy died. The guy, I'm sure, is not a great guy, but I'm just like, man,
loyalty, please.
Like, yeah, like maybe you want to do it again.
That's what it's about, you know.
Yeah.
Villains aren't very loyal.
They're loyal to themselves.
That's pretty much it.
He demands loyalty of you.
Doom and gloom.
Doom and gloom.
Right. And that's why we probably look at things more doom and gloom, is because what we see a lot of that in the news, for one.
Yeah.
As you go through life and you're older, you tend to, at least for me, sometimes I think negatively on certain.
We've
not
experienced
always,
a lot
not
of
always,
things
obviously. Don't get me wrong, but there is times I'm just thinking not. I think the worst because I don't want to expect. You know what I mean?
You don't want to be let down.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, and that's not always a good thing to think. But so. I can see why we think that way. Yeah. Why it always feels more, oh God, the world sucks.
Right.
But really, there's so much beauty in the world. It would have been nice to, you know, for me, if I would have seen some of that. But for my kids to be able to witness and see the beauty in the world, that would be awesome.
Well, that's fascinating because, like, there was somebody, I forget who it was, but somebody made something and they're like, you know, like, we keep talking about how, like, the world is awful, like, how things have never been this bad. And he's like, he talked about all these indicators that are like better than they've ever been as far as like life, like how much wealth the average person has and like the amount of like security and the amount of like, I don't know, all this like good stuff, like our lifespans and this and that and the other thing. And he's like, it's never really been like this good, but we feel like it's not good. And it's like, well, it's true, but like, I don't know. I think like we had things and it felt so safe at one point, and then it's like in the last 20 or 30 years, it just feels like.
Well, I think I think sometimes a lot of it has to do with like the beauty of the internet. Like that's kind of the downfall. I feel like
keeping up with the Joneses,
because you see a lot of people. You see stuff on social media, and you're gonna you see wants. You're like, oh, that's this or that. So even though you have something so beautiful, you don't look at that. You look at, well, I don't have that,
right?
But you got this big ass mansion, or you got this big house,
right?
I know, but I don't have that boat, or I don't have this, and so you're just never satisfied.
House. Yeah, right.
And so I don't know. You
just the next thing. Yeah.
That's hard to think too, like to keep yourself satisfied and think
I've
like
done
that.
A lot better this summer, man. I have. I was like, don't do any projects. I didn't do any projects at all.
But it felt good, I'm sure.
It felt amazing. I am so sad. No, I'm excited. It'll be good to go back. For those of you that don't know, I'll be going back to work this week. This is like my first real
You kind of excited though?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. I think I'm ready. Yeah, it's just the only bad part is like Sunday night. That the Sunday night blues.
Today.
I don't get them very often, but tonight's one of those nights. I'm like, God, there is something special to.
Hey Tom, let's do a podcast.
No, it's actually a good thing. I'm like, yeah, let's talk about shit for a while.
Yeah.
No, and it's like it's so nice to feel like Sunday's just another day of the week and be like, guess what I have to do tomorrow? Nothing. Guess what I have to do on Tuesday? Nothing. Now it's over. But
now you're like, I gotta go to work.
It's good. I'll just kill myself for the next 10 months, and then I'll
have a little break.
I can't turn it off. You know what I mean? It's like once it gets going, I'm like all in, and then I'll like kill myself, and then I'll be done in like 10. 10
well, let's hope not.
Not like literally, but like I just
No, it's. I mean, and the cool thing with your work, at least you get like breaks here.
There are
some
breaks, yes.
You get some
and
of
they
that
are
stuff.
very helpful.
But I could get it. Like I don't know. I have I have a little bit of a household of kids, not like a ton, and that kind of gets overwhelming. Like earlier today, I was getting overwhelmed with all the kids. Just a lot of stuff was going on, and I was just like a lot of my pet peeves were acting up, kids acting up,
lots of noise.
Well, some of them were starting to. I had to like, hey, like I actually had to say something because I was like, you got to watch your mouth, I didn't say it in a mean way. I was just like, hey, watch what you're saying.
Shut your fucking mouth.
You catch yourself. It was one of those like, hey, you're about to say something, don't, because it's not going to bode well for you.
You're going to cross a line.
Yeah. It's like, and it was. I'm trying to help my wife out at this moment.
Right.
Not that she needs it, but I felt like I needed to though.
Yeah.
Because I think she would have let it happen, then I could have known. I seen it.
I got you.
Dude, I was like...
You watched it ahead and you went back.
Dude, I was like Doctor Strange. I saw the scenarios and that was the only one.
Right.
That was the one scenario that's going to win and beat Thanos.
And did it?
Yeah.
Was Thanos defeated? Nice.
That moment. Nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, it's... Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's been a good weekend though.
But work's fun. Work is fun.
I'm excited to go back in the sense it'll be good to see the kids again. It'll be good to, not be so lazy again.
Well, that's cool. Like like I said, you get all them breaks.
Yeah,
at least. Lucky by yesterday, I don't get no break. Although my boss had told me to start taking off some time.
Really?
Yeah, because I have too much PTO. He's like,
nice.
You need to start taking some time off. I'm like,
dude, that's cool.
All right.
Sure. How about tomorrow?
I do have something.
Yeah.
I was actually this will probably lead into your story. My boss, he had to go to Spokane a few nights back.
Okay. Yeah.
And he and for people who don't know, Spokane it was on fire. So
I don't know. Spokane's burned down.
It's burnt to the ground.
Outside
of Spokane. Yeah. Medical Lake area, I think it was.
Yes, absolutely.
You got it. It was all burnt up, and I guess he was talking about he told us like, hey, I'm gonna have to leave early because the freeways might be shut down, and it's like a 4-hour
if you go there,
roundabout.
It's like totally burnt on both sides. It's crazy.
And so he went. I guess they had just opened up the freeway because they did shut it down.
Yeah.
And so the day he went, I guess they had opened it up that middle of the night or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it was crazy. It was still like real smoky, and it was just like the whole thing's on fire. And I know you said you went to Spokane.
We did yesterday.
Did it look?
Yeah,
it
looked like torched earth. I mean, it was like, so for those of you that are in our area that have driven to Spokane, there's like a turn that you kind of make around this hill, and then you see the tree line, right, of Spokane County. So like when you first see that, the trees had like some noticeable dead spots.
Oh.
So as you get closer, you realize that's where the earth started to torch. And I think it must have moved pretty quick because it's like, it didn't burn the entire tree.
Yeah.
But everything around the tree and the base of the tree is burnt. And I think it just like kind of heat torched everything above.
Oh, because all that dry stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, so it was definitely hot. It wasn't real smoky at that point, but they still have all the warning. Like they have like the big like electronic reader thing up. And it was like active fire area. Don't stop your car, that kind of thing. But I didn't notice anything. Like it wasn't like on fire actively. But it was crazy how many like houses or like farm buildings were just sitting there with everything torched around it, and somehow they prevented these buildings from getting burned.
They probably had sprinklers or something.
They must have done something. Like whatever they did a great job because it was pretty impressive.
That'd be scouring.
Like, yeah, shoot.
I'm guessing they weren't there.
There were these like fields of cows. The cows are just sitting there. Everything around their fields like burn up, and they're just grazing. I'd be like, so if I were a cow, I'd be so like,
I'd be a burger.
Cows are amazing. They're just like, meh. Like
my life is what it is.
Whatever. I'm just gonna keep eating this grass. Like they saw like hell coming at them, and they're just like,
They probably freaked the fuck out. I'm guessing.
I would imagine they probably ran to the other side.
Oh Lord, it's so hot. It's so hot.
Yeah, but we went to.
Where'd you guys go to?
We had a puppy that we were delivering to a family, their forever home in Spokane.
Oh, that
was pretty cool. Yeah, our little Cotton dog that I loved. Kind of wanted to keep her, but
did you?
Yeah, she's one of our fosters we've had several months now. I think.
She was a big puppy.
She was an itty bitty.
Yeah, she was a little ball of fur.
She got a family in Seattle area, and that unfortunately didn't work out. So the lady flew her back, and we got her, and then on.
So crazy.
So, I know, man. That lady paid like probably $1,500 for this dog, all said and done, and didn't even have the dog in the end. I'm like, this is nuts. But so this family, we took her. They had another little puppy, and it was really cute. They played together. And it kind of helped her calm down. She's a little bit of a nervous dog. So they were playing and she had a good time. And they sent us a picture this morning. She looked really happy, which was a cool thing because she's not that quick. You guys have seen her.
Yeah.
She hides a lot.
Yeah.
Very sweet dog,
I've come over many times.
She's like a hide and seeker. You know, she'll pop her head out of a couch and like pull it back in. So we did that. And then we were going to be late for the comedy show that we went to see. Downtown Spokane has a Spokane Comedy Club. It was a really cool spot. So we were going back there, but we had to go from Spokane Valley to get to downtown, which should have been about at most a 10-minute drive. So Blanca's like nervous. She's like, we should have rushed. We should have hurried. We're going to get there and be late. And he's going to start making fun of us because we're coming in late. And like, babe, I've never seen a comic that didn't have like opening acts.
Yeah.
Like, it's never like going to be just the guys like, really? And like, well, think about everybody we've ever seen. Like, there's never been just them walking up. It's always been opening acts.
Unless they're like nobody.
So like,
you know what I mean?
They are the opener. Then that's one thing, like open mic night or something. But so she's like, well, maybe. And then like, as soon as we get close to the freeway entrance, a train comes through and we get just stopped for like 10 minutes waiting for this train.
Isn't that the worst?
And we're like, are you kidding me? Like we were at the beginning of the train too. So we're like waiting for this train to go by. Finally we get going. And she's like, Blanca has this like panic mode thing where she just like negative spirals fast. And she's like, fuck this. We're going to figure out something else to do. I'm not walking in there late. And so that's when I kind of was like, really like, no, we need to go. Like everything's going to be fine. They're not going to make fun of us. And in my head, I'm thinking like, they better not fucking make fun of us. But,
God, David.
So like, oh man.
Can you imagine?
Luckily the place is very dark inside. It's like you go into like this main kiosk area. It's kind of like a playhouse, right? Yeah. So we go into the main kiosk area. The gal like checks us in. And then she's like, right through those doors we go in. It's like pitch black. It was great. And they're blinded by these lights. So they had no idea. And it was the MC, I guess you call it, right? He was really funny. He was a stepdad, so a lot of his jokes were like stepdad oriented. I don't remember his name because I didn't get it.
Oh, you should write that down. That'd have been sick.
But I think he must be the MC that's there a lot. So I need to like Google that.
Okay.
He was pretty funny and a really cool guy. I talked to him a little bit after. And then there was a second guy. Don't remember his name, but he was really funny too. He was from LA. And then the guy that we really went to see was Samuel Comroe. Don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name right, but Comroe. And he's very funny. He was actually on, I think it was America's Got Talent a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
And he's kind of like his claim to fame, if you will. I don't know. His thing is that he has Tourette's. So a lot of his jokes are about having like Tourette's tics and stuff. But very funny guy, very, very high energy, like came right on the stage, like ready to go, like ripping him out there.
Yeah.
He was a lot of fun to listen to. And we got the pleasure of a very intoxicated guy interrupting at one point. And that was a lot of fun.
Did he rip into him?
Oh, yeah. Big time. The guy said something and I didn't catch it, but the guy was like 2 tables away from where we were sitting. We were all like pretty close to the stage.
Oh, gosh.
And he goes, "What was that?" And the guy, like, you didn't hear anything, but you kind of heard the guy's mom, like, no, like, shh.
Yeah.
I felt really bad for his family, actually, because they were fine. And,
and
he's like, no, I'll wait for you. What was that? And the guy gets up and he goes, "Crickets." Because he's setting up a joke. He goes, "Yeah, do you not know what a setup is, bro?" And then he starts getting into it. And he just like, he got pissed. I was like, good for him. Like, he took control so fast that like nobody else is going to do that. So he just told them to get him out of there. And
nice.
So like it took him a second, but he's like, I'll wait all night. Like, you're not going to get this last joke. He's like, everybody else paid for this. And you're just like being an ass in front of everybody. So you don't get this joke.
Yeah.
It was great. So they took him out. And then he continued the show.
That would be embarrassing if that's like your family member. And you're there,
felt
and you're
really
like,
bad. For his mom seemed like a super sweet lady, and it was like he just drank too much. Like,
God damn it, Josh!
You know, we've all been there. I've never gotten kicked out of a place like that, but
I've been kicked out of a club once.
There you go.
But I was like pretty drunk.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of stuff. I had a guy.
But then I snuck right back in.
I got kicked out of a bar once and I wasn't even like doing anything. The guy that was like the bartender, usually he got drunk and I guess I made him mad somehow.
Oh.
He wasn't actively bartending that night, but like we were all hanging out and joking around. It was fine. And then all of a sudden he's like, "You're done. Get out." I'm like, "Okay, see you later."
Like, what is your problem?
That was like one of the craziest things. He was a fun guy up until that point, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't get. There's like some people that just get triggered by just weird, just a small. I mean, we all have that moment when we get things trigger us, but there's like some that it's just, come on, man, like why are you making this
belligerent, angry?
Like, why are you so angry?
Right.
Well, you keep tapping your finger on the cup, and you're like, okay, well,
dude, I am way drunker than this and
here.
way more obnoxious than this. Like, please, this is child's play.
Yeah.
You're kicking me out tonight. Of all the nights, this is my good night.
Yeah,
dude.
It's you know what I mean? Like, some people I don't know if they just like having problems.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if there's people out there that just love to
looking
be like
back
that.
at it. He was probably close to 30 in a college town serving drinks at a local bar, right?
That should be me.
Like, he's probably angry that his life hadn't done more. And like I said, like, I'm not knocking on the guy. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a bartender in a college town. Like, it was absolutely fine. It's just, I don't know, whatever he was going through at that time. But that actually reminds me of a little tidbit going back from Spokane. We're driving back. We get to Ritzville, very small town.
Nothing's
right where I-90 to Spokane meets, what is it, 395 to Tri-Cities.
There's a little bit of thing right there.
There's this itty bitty little town. And there was a Circle K there. And we walk in the door and instantly Blanca's like, "Get over here." And like, "What?" And she's like, "This guy's like pissed that we're here." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, he's trying to mop the floor." And so like we came in, he was like, "Fuck, Jesus Christ," like under his breath. It's like, "I didn't see it. I got to pee and I want some coffee." So we go in and it was funny. Like, he was like clearly not thrilled that we were there. And it's like, sorry, bro. But I've had that job. I had that job for 2 days before I quit. It was an awful job.
Well, I mean,
I was like,
it's what you come on. you're the only
I know.
gas station in a. There's not much.
I mean,
because that's the one just before you get on 395.
Yeah, I mean, like there's other gas stations in the
Man,
area, but it's like, I mean,
Don't
you know,
be a
it's
Circle K?
K, man. Like,
Yeah, they got the good
Circle K,
coffee
bro.
and shit.
So
I wish I could spin.
I
this
was just
coffee right
like,
now.
I was nice to him because like I had that job, and
Yeah.
it was the most overwhelming job I ever had, and I was like, they were gonna send me to a really bad part of Tacoma, and the gal's like, she stops, she's like, when you work, don't act scared. They'll rob you. And I was like, the image flashed in my head of 9 p.m. locking the door and just sitting there until the morning shift started and just being like, nope, not opening the door for anybody. I was like, I approached her. We were emptying garbage cans at like 4 a.m. I'm like, I can't do this. She's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, I'm dead serious. I'm like, I'll finish up my shift, but I'm not doing this. I had graduated college. I'm like,
What am I doing?
fuck this shit. I do not need this.
I don't need to be a 30-year-old kicking anybody out.
Dude, it was like, and I'm not knocking people that do the job.
No.
Don't get
It's
me
a
wrong.
tough job.
But there's like that. There's a guy that lives really, or not lives, but he works really close to us in that gas station outside of the grocery store, the Yokes
Mhm.
gas station, right? Super like a master of the craft, if you will.
Yeah. Which one was he?
Yeah, he's the guy that's always super nice, like manager kind of guy there. I'm thinking he's a manager.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's not there. I know who you're talking about though.
He may not be there anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. I mean, hopefully. for
But no,
him.
I know who you're talking about.
No, there's a guy.
He was kind of bald.
Was he?
I don't know.
Dark
But
hair.
He had like glasses.
Maybe a beard.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
No, the guy I'm thinking of didn't. Whatever. We'll talk
Anyway,
about it
this
after the
guy's
show, but
awesome.
This guy was amazing. I mean, he just was like always a smile on his face every day. Like, have a great day. I would have been the guy being like, Jesus fucking Christ, as I'm
Like-
trying to mop the floor.
Dude, I hated that when I worked at Arby's late at night. It'd be
Yeah.
like 11:55. We close
Right.
at midnight.
Somebody comes.
Someone come through the drive-thru. You're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
There was times like dick move. We'd give him like there'd be fries we'd be getting ready to throw out. We'd refry them. That's so
go.
fucked up.
Well, it was healthy. I mean, it's French fries. How bad they're gonna get?
Yeah. They're just double
At least you
dip
refried
fried.
them.
We did
refried them. I mean,
Refried fries are so gross.
are they?
Oh yeah, they're not good.
Oh,
Like they just have like a dry.
is it like when
they're
you
empty.
microwave fries? Have you ever?
No, they're like.
microwaved
Have you ever had a
McDonald's fries?
fry that was just super like crunchy that there's nothing in it?
Yeah,
That's kind of what these do.
Oh.
It's not completely that way, but
I
it's
gotcha.
like that consistency.
I have had a cold McDonald's fry, and they turn right back into styrofoam. It's pretty crazy. It's
They're
like,
gross.
They're not even like I don't get me wrong. I love a hot French fry.
I just had French
Anyway,
fries on my
but-
way here.
Man, I had a baked potato today from Texas Roadhouse.
Uh-huh.
It was delicious.
I haven't been to
Salt.
Roadhouse in hella.
I haven't been there in a long time either until today, but it was really good. And I was thinking about how you have certain states that you'll name restaurants with, right?
Uh-huh.
Like Louisiana Cajun. Like I can imagine like Louisiana Cajun place.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
with
sure.
Louisiana in the name. Texas Roadhouse Steakhouse, right?
Yeah.
Even like Outback, like Australia. But what about those states like Iowa, like Alabama or something? Like
Oh yeah.
what would you name
Corn.
a restaurant? Right, like Huskers.
Cornucopia.
Huskers cook corn.
There's got to be a Huskers.
I mean, some Husker burger joint, right?
Like-
from Iowa. That makes sense, right?
It's so gross.
Right? Huskers.
Best burgers
Check out
aside.
the Huskers, girls.
I know it's an offshoot of Hooters. we were actually in LA,
They're
and
a
there
lot
was
stronger than the Hooters girls.
we went to this barbecue joint in LA,
Uh-huh.
and across the street there was a restaurant that looked very close to McDonald's.
Yeah.
It was red, gold arch thing,
Ooh.
but it was called like
McHooters.
like Charlie's or something stupid. But
Huh.
I mean, you knew who they were ripping off.
Charlie's. That's so funny.
McCharlie's.
It's like they just
Um,
bought an old McDonald's and then just like
Well, it wasn't even in McDonald's.
They
It
bought
was
an
it
old
almost
McDonald's.
old McDonald's. He had a farm
It's the Huskers.
at the Huskers.
Uh,
I should see if I can find that picture. Actually, it was way back when, but it was look at me, just wasting time on here.
You guys don't care.
You don't
right?
care. Mon frere.
Yeah, I don't know. That just popped in my head. I'm like, Texas Roadhouse. I can imagine that there are some states that will never get their due.
Well, what would you think Washington? The apples. I only think
Probably.
I only think that because of we're like known for apples.
I guess you're right.
Or
though.
wine
like
or
Washington,
something.
though, doesn't seem like a name you'd like. So like Texas, you kind of think steak, right? Probably from like Longhorns and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you'd think about for Washington. I guess apples. Rain.
Yeah. Rain. I
Like-
don't know. I can't find the picture.
Washington Rain Restaurant, the best water.
Well, there's the Rain
Wow.
Cafe. What is it? Rainforest Cafe.
Rainforest Cafe. Washington.
But you think
Rainforest.
Amazon?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we do have a rainforest here, though. I don't know if people know that. We got a rainforest.
Where at?
The coast. That's not a tropical rainforest.
Oh,
but it's
just
a
like
rainforest, man.
That makes sense.
It's a forest with a lot of rain, bro.
Hey.
Do
Anyway, I don't know. I got nothing else.
you have a question for today?
You know what?
We were not prepared.
I wasn't
today.
prepared for the question.
Let me tell you, I screwed today up. We were going to go to a birthday party for a relative, and Jesse's like, "You ready to podcast?" Is like, "Gonna have to do it later." So
Yeah, which
I
is
take
fine.
The blame. I take the blame. This
No,
is
I mean-
this is so wrong.
I think we would have been right at this moment because I didn't think of a question of the
I
week.
should have asked you before.
That's it.
God forbid I ever have to think of a question.
I'm like, I don't got a question.
Okay.
Just always see the positive in things.
Yeah. What's
You
the
know?
most negative thing you've ever seen? You guys think about
Bro,
it.
you know what?
What?
I was thinking about something like that actually. Now
There
that you say
go.
that,
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna like literally. I was just thinking about this earlier. I'm glad you see. Look at that, my memory. It's kind of like on that. It's like what's some of the best or worst advice you ever
Oh,
got?
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of like my question of the week. I was thinking like I can't recall ever hearing advice. The only advice I could ever recall is when I worked at a Bombay company in the mall. This older lady said basically, watch, words hurt kind of thing. She's like, when you're married, just watch what you say and how you say it, because that hurts more than like that lasts longer basically than like something physical. Obviously, don't hit your wife, but
right.
Just watch how you speak to your significant other, because like words hurt, because you can't forget that shit.
Yeah, actually, some of the best advice I ever heard, very similar. It was, I think, from Paul Castellano. Once you shoot a gun, you can't stop the bullet. So
That's true.
don't just shoot people.
I get it though. That's kind of like the same
But
scenario.
it's like for the rest of us that don't just kill people with guns,
Words
it's like your words. I
are
think
bullets.
that was the analogy, was like, be careful what you say, or be careful like
yeah, it makes
what
sense.
you do. That was from the podcast.
With Sammy the Bull.
Sammy the Bull. He told us a story at one point.
Yeah, but that's good advice
But I
though,
mean,
because
truly,
it's
like, you
true.
figure, like, yeah, once you pull that trigger, like that bullet's going, you can't stop it. You can't get it back.
Yeah, that's something. And I was
Wow.
young when she had said that, because I
Yeah.
was probably like maybe 20.
Yeah.
I want to say. So
Yeah,
20
I
years
had a
ago.
guy my mom used to work with, and he like was making helicopter blades or something. I don't know. He was doing
Wow.
something. And he's like, he just randomly, like we were talking to him in the parking lot at a grocery store, and he was like, he looked at me and he goes, remember as you're growing up, don't ever just do a job. Like, do a good job. And then they'll never want to get rid of you. I was like,
Yeah.
I was a very lazy kid, so I'm like, yeah, right. But
No,
that stuck with
thanks.
me. I do try to do a good job.
My
Yeah.
my son actually, that dude. Maybe I'll talk about that next week. His money consciousness.
Oh, yes.
He's very.
That was a good story.
Yeah. Maybe I'll bring that up next week.
All right.
Save something put something in the chamber for next week.
Just be careful where you point that gun.
Yeah.
Once you shoot that bullet,
Yeah.
just don't get in the bag.
And have a good week.
Yeah, you guys, those kids are going back to school.
Have
You
fun.
know,
Yeah,
enjoy
good luck.
it. To your parents, good luck. We're all getting back on the schedules and routines.
Your kids are going back to school, parents.
You did it.
Now
You
it's
did
up
it.
to the teachers to babysit.
Hey, educate.
Yeah, no.
Educate.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
That'd be tough.
All right, everybody. We love you. Have a good week.
Yes. Yes.